my name's Pete. I'd like to do a small video on the Egyptian revival. Well, the pieces in my collection. I notice there's many people's collections videos on YouTube, and yeah, I'd like to look at the Egyptian revival, well, antique Egyptian revival. I'd like to cover the pieces in my collection from Egyptian revival antiques, like that club, but also books, pictures, paintings, and anything along that sort of line. Anything from the history of Egyptology. So I'm not a historian, I'm not an Egyptologist, I'm not an academic in any way. I just have the interest, and I know that this is a very popular field. Yeah, so I'd like to show you some bits of my collection. I'll start off with the earliest piece I have. Now this is interesting because it's a book which was printed in 1734, and that's interesting because obviously it predates the Napoleonic invasion, and also it's at a time where the only things really known about Egypt were from the Bible or the classical interest. So this is interesting. Show you it. Now this book was produced in 1734. It has some very interesting, very early plates. It was printed by Paul Chamberlain. It was written by Paul Chamberlain. Now I believe it was heavily copied from an earlier work. So actually, I think obviously I won't go into the I won't go into the text obviously, but I will show some of the illustrations because they're very interesting. There you go. Now this is interesting because these are, as you can see, canopic jars, which this book cutely calls, where is it? Curious Egyptian urns. But yes, as obviously we know them as canopic jars. Now some of the prints in here, it actually mentions at the time, their provenance. For example, this mummy case. Now I've actually found this mummy case. It's currently situated in the British Museum, in the Enlightenment Gallery. I'm trying to find some of the other antiquities, but this would prove proves rather hard. Sorry, I'm going quite quick, so I don't want to give you a chance to see some of the pieces. This piece I've actually tracked down. This is also in the British Museum currently. So let's give some of the provenance. So this is just a very quick video. This is my first one I've done. Possibly do others, depending on the feedback, I suppose. If I get good feedback, I'll do another one. If I get terrible, I'll fade into obscurity again. But yeah, so I'll do some more pictures. There's my Egyptian revival clock. Yeah, so I'll show you some other pieces, and I'll do another video in due course.